Hello everyone and welcome to another video of the Sixshooters X-Wing tournaments. Today Andre is joining me again to do the commentary. Hi Andre.
Hi everyone.
Let's take a look at the lists. We see Vincent's squad, who is playing a typical Soontir Fel list with a swarm. What do you think about the list, Andre?
Well, this is the rebirth of the mini swarm, but this is a slightly less than perfect version. You know, what I consider to be the perfect version of this is just having stealth device, but that's 101 points.
Yes.
So all the lists you see are usually just compromising. So you
Right.
can lose Howlrunner and get Mauler Mythal or Backstabber.
Mm-hmm.
You can lose Howlrunner and transform everyone into Obsidians.
Yes, that's a popular list. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or you can use lose stealth device and take targeting computer, which wouldn't be my pick.
Well, I like the targeting computer, since there's also this moment in the game where Soontir has another action and can do nothing, can't shoot, and just can take the targeting computer. Or, which happens, is that he uses targeting computer plus focus to hit,
Mm-hmm.
which is nice. Again, we see the new list by Rene. Rene is playing Luke and another swarm. This is basically a swarm list. What do you think about the lone wolf on Luke?
The lone wolf on Luke is very interesting. It's one of the combinations that are relatively new. I haven't seen them around much, but the combination of Luke and that ability is pretty good. I'm not sure. R3A2 is very, very good, but
Yes.
I'm not sure about having him on the main ship.
Exactly.
I would always put it on some other ship that I don't worry about.
Losing.
Yeah, don't worry about losing.
Exactly. I agree with you, because now Luke has lone wolves, which screams like a good endgame ship, but now you make it more of a target by adding the R3A2, so now he has like 2 targets on his head, so you will expect him to be gunned down as quick as possible. So yeah, I agree. He should split up the lone wolf and the droid. One thing I'm afraid of, by the way, is that lone wolf will not trigger. What do you think about that?
Well, that depends a lot on his flying, so we'll see based on placement.
Mm-hmm.
For now, I see the standard placement of swarms.
Yeah.
And Vincent is putting himself in a very nice corner.
Yeah,
This
I
is
love it.
very reminiscent of Wave 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And you just choose the place with the corner with the most opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah, he can just bank in, turn in. He has all the room left. So we see that Rene's putting his Luke Skywalker pretty close to his swarm.
Very close, because when playing against the swarm, he doesn't want Luke to be a target and an available target. He still wants to hit with the swarm. If Luke is too far away, then he becomes a target and the swarm goes after him.
Right.
What do you think about Soontir mirroring in the swarm?
Well, I think it's okay, because we can expect him to move from the side, so he's still flanking from the edge of the map. Putting him on the other side, away from the swarm, would just get him into problems with the facing opposition. So I don't know. I think this can work. What do you think?
I'm not sure I like it very much, because you want to flank pretty hard. You don't want to be anywhere near the front of those bees.
Mm-hmm.
So you can, if you manage to bait him with the Soontir, then you just come with the TIE fighters. But otherwise he'll go for the TIE fighters and you should be fine.
Right, so you want a hammer and anvil approach.
Yeah, I prefer that a lot. Oh,
Okay.
By the way, you can see Howlrunner is going to come in the information just now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very nice Wave 1 formation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty tight maneuvering.
Rene, on the other hand, has a staggered formation, which
Yeah,
will be very difficult to turn with.
Yeah.
You can already see that his 2 turn is blocked.
Yeah. He can't do a hard turn.
And let's see what Luke is up.
Yeah. So with this, the way this plays out, I predict that Luke will not trigger Lone Wolf.
Yes, that's pretty clear from now.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if that's a calculated thing. Like, okay, I know that Lone Wolf will not trigger during the start of the game, or that he should have put more distance on his Luke.
Maybe it's just a matchup thing. He expects to use that against other matchups more.
Right. Yeah. Now he needs the guns from Luke to fire into the fray. Yeah.
But from the way it's set up now, he won't be using it.
No, this is... Yeah. So you can see that the TIE Swarm has the option to do a hard turn or a bank. I think the hard turn would make them face the asteroid in the middle.
Yeah, but that's usually good, because if you're facing the asteroid, but the opponent has an even harder time. So if the swarm does a hard turn to the right, then the rebels have no option but to go through the asteroid to engage. Right. And that's pretty bad for them.
So you would say the hard turn instead of this bank would have been a valid choice as well?
I would have played that. Because afterwards you still have a lot of options. You can still bank towards the rebels, or just do hard turns, slow play and do a 2 forward. Yep. There's room for a lot of things, especially when you're playing TIE fighters.
Right. So right now this telegraphs like another bank for the TIE fighters. Yeah. Well, this is the only move basically for Rene, just doing a bank, because the hard turn, as you said, would make them bump into the asteroid.
Yeah, so he's just making the widest turn, 2 banks over 2 turns, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure. How do you feel about the positioning of his ships with the bees in front and the headhunters in the back?
I would put the headhunters in the front to make sure they bump and survive longer, and have the bees in the back to shoot with all their red dice.
They will also get, me too. They will also get more range benefits. 1 extra die helps them immensely.
Yeah, true. It's just that the Bandit will probably get, heavily damaged in the first round of shooting, and making him bump in the turn after would, make them live just that little bit longer, hopefully.
So here we see Soontir charging, and this is the first thing I don't agree with, because with Soontir you're always tempted to make as many mobility actions as possible. He just screams to boost and barrel. Yeah. But here it's just so perfect to just focus evade, because you might have a range 3 shot as it is. No need to rush.
No, there was no shot at that range. So, but you, I think, at least.
Well, you could have used 1, but using 2 didn't help here, because.
I agree. I agree with you.
The more you use mobility, the less defense you have.
Yeah.
And here, I wouldn't have pushed the limit.
Well, this is interesting. I was thinking about it. If you avoid using push the limit, in that case, you miss out on the evade token or the focus token. So then.
But you get it before with R3A2. I think you get it before, right?
Yeah, but he can choose not to use R3A2 and just shoot at a tokenless Soontir.
Well, then you just use the token first and don't not use mobility, and that's it.
Yeah. So in that case, this means that you would just stay in place, take an evade token, and do nothing, just to be sure that you don't get double stressed by the bot.
I think he just used the range ruler here, and I think it was close to.
You think he would have had a shot?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Maybe. Yeah, the thing is, the extra barrel roll did not get Soontir out of arc, so that was basically a wasted action,
Yes.
in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah.
And now it's a pretty bad position for Soontir because he has basically he has 2 bank to the right, which brings him towards the rebels,
Yeah, this
or 2 bank to the left, which basically disengages.
right.
And he has no token this turn, which is awful.
Yeah, this is deadly. This is really scary. Well, I would definitely avoid the swarm. So my option with Soontir would be go to the left. And anyone who wants to chase me on the left side will get pummeled by the swarm, at least. Hopefully.
But this is still a good opportunity for the rebels, so they
Yeah.
they should turn towards Soontir at this point.
Totally, yeah. This is a trap. So I would go for Soontir. Yeah.
And let's see what they do.
Yeah. I love these
That's
fine
usually
formations.
the key to taking out Soontir. You just set him up for a block or a trap and then hit him with everything you have.
Yeah, exactly. So Howlrunner telegraphed his move, which was a surprising 2 forward, but it was not his turn. We see that he's turning in. He's turning in with his ships to kill, to shoot Soontir. Let's put it this way.
And I think, is this the moment where he does separate things? No. Yeah. He has a 2 bank. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now here, I'm not sure. How do you feel about this move?
Oh, I don't like it at all. It's I mean, I would just commit with.
Yeah, committing is actually, I don't know if you commit, because most of your ships would have actions and you would have arcs on the first TIE fighter. Maybe. No.
I would just do the hard to. I would just do the whole block as a move. Because now it's like it's 2 of them have arc on Soontir, the other 2 have no arc.
Yeah.
No actions. I don't know. It's
And here, if the bees would have been behind, they would have been closer to the Soontir.
yes. And there's still the threat of turning the whole block the other way. I don't know. I think it's hard.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's harder for Rene in the coming few turns to maneuver his squad because because he has them lined up like this. Actually, when he was doing the move and bumping, he was saying out loud that mistakes were made. So Rene wasn't happy with it bumping Z as well.
Yeah, but you can see that Luke might be dead this turn.
Yeah, totally. So I was thinking, would have Luke been able to do a hard turn, or would have? I think he would crash on the asteroid, right, with a hard turn. Is it? Okay, yeah.
But he can still use his ability, and he gets a dice, an extra dice.
But if he would be on the asteroid, I mean, trying to shoot at Soontir.
No, but just trying to survive.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, just trying to survive while the rebels kick the TIE fighters.
Yeah, I think this option is better though. I mean, it's like there's, you're gonna die with Luke at this point, but there's no real way of avoiding it. So let's go in and guns blazing, right?
What do you think about this shot?
On Howlrunner.
Yeah.
No chance. No chance of hitting.
Yeah, so there's no chance of hitting. Do you think he has any reason to use the stress bot?
I would. Well, I don't know. I would probably try to stress
Hey, that's
Howlrunner.
you.
Yeah, that's me. and this is horrible because they were not clear on the range if they would have a shot, and here I am being all professional and moving the ferry ship which I was measuring. So I did notice that I moved it, but I was just moving it back too little. So I felt really guilty watching this. But luckily the dice gods made this a non-existent roll. This didn't matter for the outcome of the game, luckily. Well, he got stressed, so.
Yeah,
So
but it's interesting because Luke with no stress would have interesting options the following turn.
you're right. You're right. So what you're saying is that this is a completely useless stress on Howlrunner.
Yes, because Howlrunner then just banks 2 and that's the end of it.
That's it, and then you have to bank 1 or 2 with your stressed out. You're totally right. Yeah.
So if you do a 3 bank with the swarm, I think there's space for Luke to even turn.
Mm-hmm.
Or it might be. Not sure.
Yeah. You're right.
Okay, so that's not that. That was the bandit.
The bandit shooting at
Soontir.
Really? Oh, okay.
And this is the B. Still no damage.
Yeah, it's range 3 through the asteroid. It's with an autothruster. It's so hard to kill Soontir.
But you can see that if Soontir would have been range 3 even with a 2 bank. So he just turned towards the edge of the map, and that means that next turn he will have to use boost and barrel roll to get a good shot at anything.
Right.
Instead, if he had a 2 bank, from a 2 bank you can just 2 turn towards the rebels, and then you focus evade focus.
Yeah.
And that's a very good position to be in.
True. Yeah, maybe he was hoping to get out of range with this move. I mean, the 2 bank would get him closer.
Well, it might be just stress and reacting to being double stressed on Soontir. It's quite scary.
It is. So you automatically go for the longest distance, which doesn't matter at range 3. Yeah.
So Luke seems to be still alive.
Yeah. Doesn't even have to use his focus. Well, this time he does.
Yeah, he did this time. But he had a few rolls which were really bad, and he just converted the focus and he was fine.
Yeah.
It's a really good ability.
It is, if you memorize to use it.
If he would ever be in an E-Wing, he would be unstoppable.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that would be so nasty.
Okay, so the swarm here had 2 options. Basically a 3 bank and a 2 bank.
Yes.
And I'm not sure which one would have been better, since range 1 basically helps Rene, so helps the rebels.
Does it? I mean, it gets the TIE fighters closer as well, which turns them into...
But their pilots kill 1. So range 1 you might lose 2 before you even have a shot.
Okay. Right. That's a fair point.
And with Luke there and B-Wings, possibly with actions, I think it's... Okay,
and they would get closer to Howlrunner. So if you move everything closer, Howlrunner gets closer, and they might just go for Howlrunner instead.
That's also true. I think this B does a target lock, if I remember.
Yeah, this is... there's one TIE which is going to die.
Okay, so that's 1 target lock, and now let's see what the... I think the Headhunter is next. The front Headhunter?
I think, yeah, it's pretty important which ship goes before which ship, because of all the bumping, of course.
Okay, this is better because it preserves actions. So you always want to do the ships from behind if they have the possibility of not bumping.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So this is very nice, very close. And this one takes another target lock, I think.
So, and that's a point I want to make. I think this is always a mistake, and it's always, for me, it's a signal when I play with somebody that okay, they're wasting actions, because two target locks on the same ship, there's a chance, especially on a TIE fighter, there's a chance that the TIE fighter just goes boom in the first shot,
right?
Because it's a TIE fighter.
True.
And then you waste an action. And
yeah, I agree.
Especially,
I agree. Yeah. On the other hand, just to pick the other side for defense, a B-wing with a focus for defense really is not important with one agility, and if you miss, you still get to keep the target lock. So let's say that I agree with you. I would just take one target lock and probably a focus, but there's also a benefit of making sure that you keep your target lock for maybe the next round.
yes, but usually you don't keep the target lock.
True.
There is very little chance of you actually keeping the target lock if you have no other token.
True, and you end up bumping the very ship your target lock to the next turn, so you will not get another shot at this.
It depends, but yeah, probably.
This is an interesting part in the matchup, because now Soontir has a nice shot at the Bandit and no way of getting shot back, but he decides to move in to
instead of just boosting.
I think he just did a boost.
Oh, sorry, yeah, of course he did.
So this is the second action, and he decides to go for the shot at Luke, which is,
I don't think it's range 1. Is it range 1?
No, should not be. Oh, it is. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, most definitely. So this is a range 1 shot. Yeah. So he decides to use focus, of course, because he wants to try to PS kill Luke. And he dies. Yeah. So this is great, but the thing is, I disagree with the move, because of course the outcome is like super great, you kill Luke, but you take this risk because now you get a tokenless Soontir which gets fired upon by the Bandit. And I would always pick the safe spot for Soontir to just shoot without getting shot.
Me too, yeah. I agree.
I never take risks with Soontir because it's such a good endgame pilot, so I want to keep him alive.
And
so now,
it's basically always good to keep him safe.
Yeah, it's always the greediness of the game which can cost you in the end.
So now we see a B-wing just one-shotting a TIE fighter, and the second target lock is wasted.
Yeah, which proves your point.
Yeah, well, I knew about it in advance, but still.
Of course, yeah. No,
I've seen it happen a lot of times with even more target locks, including Epic, and it's just such a waste.
Yeah, I agree. Well, for me it's always really hard to make sure what target I shoot at, so I mostly just pick a focus. It's safer, you can use it for defense. I really have to be sure of my target to get a target lock. So here Rene is like, hey, wait a minute, I can shoot Soontir. And he takes the odds, which I calculated, and there is a 30% chance for a Bandit to hit Soontir with at least 1 damage. Which he does. It's even a critical, which is like 5% chance of that happening. And this is like the worst critical ever. This is damaged sensor array. So Soontir cannot use its actions on the action bar, including push the limit. So we have a Soontir without any actions at this point, which is really dangerous.
Well, there are worse criticals for Soontir. Pilot ability, what was it, injured pilot, or damaged engine with the hard turns red.
True.
But this is also pretty bad.
There are other horrible ways for Soontir to die. So talking about crits, we should note that Howlrunner just took a crit, which is another dangerous crit. It's stunned pilot, which gets him 1 damage when he bumps anything.
And he's also down to 1 HP right now.
Right, exactly. So this is pretty bad looking for Vincent with both of his elite ships with crippling criticals.
Let's see what damage he does in return.
Exactly.
He only had 3 academies left.
Yes, that's true, but 2 of them have focus.
I really like how Vincent is rolling the dice. Oh, and the bee dies.
Wow. So that was like 3 ties shooting into a bee and just killing it in 1 turn.
Well, it's 9 dice.
It's 9 dice and doing 8 damage.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good even with the Howlrunner rerolls.
Mm-hmm.
So now we see a K-turn, of course, for the tie. And
the other one doesn't fit.
Doesn't fit, but it seems like he did try. And Vincent is one of the best players, I think. And I'm really puzzled why he would try a K-turn like that, because it really did not fit. As you can see,
he could have tried to just hard right to the one hard right, and he would just shoot the B wing.
Mm-hmm.
If it did turn.
Mm-hmm. True.
Which I'm not sure it does. Does it have space to do a 2K?
Right now, the B?
Yeah, the one towards Howlrunner. Oh, the only B left.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
The Headhunter is doing a really nice turn here.
Oh yeah, this is this is a good move.
I'm not sure what I would have done with Soontir at this point.
I would have probably done a 3 or 4 or maybe even a 5, but then you would of course bump into your tie. But what I'm trying to say is that at this point I would just really run with Soontir, because turning towards the left gets you this dangerous position from the
and the B turns.
Yeah, and it fits. Yeah,
really nice. But you see, if he would have done a 1 hard right with a TIE fighter, he would have been in a really fantastic spot.
Yes, he would. Yeah, so it's well, okay. Let's leave it at the fact that he's a really good player. So this K-turn bump was unnecessary.
And Soontir, not Soontir, Howlrunner, sorry, also 4Ks.
Yeah, of course. To stay in, to give the rerolls.
Well, he is a bit tilted.
That's, well, you might say he is. I think so.
Maybe it was your fault. We don't know.
I think the criticals played a major role in this one. He was really unlucky with the criticals, and he does hate that. So now we have Soontir with an action available, but he needs to get rid of the damage sensor array, and of course it fails. So yeah, so now we have like a range 1 focused shot at a tokenless Soontir. Whoa, this is really scary.
Yeah, it's looking like he's going to die.
Yeah, it's and then evade by the B.
Yeah, Howlrunner does no damage, but the B will probably take it out because it's just
and he takes it out. Yeah, it's statistically 3 reds versus 3 greens is in favor of the attacker.
Mm-hmm. It's always 3 versus 3, 2 versus 2. It's always in favor of the attacker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now the money shot.
Yes.
And it's 2 blanks even. The green dice betraying Soontir.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's really bad looking.
Well,
we have.
It's not that bad because TIE fighters are surprisingly good towards the end game, because they're so maneuverable. I've pulled off a lot of wins because of that.
Yeah.
So it's not over at this point. He still has full HP on the TIE fighters he has, I think. No, he has one hit point down on one of them. And the B is almost out of the shields. Now he does this maneuver.
Oh yeah,
which is
I don't get it.
Yeah,
I think
could have done so much with that TIE fighter.
He could have done just a 2 straight to get rid of the stress if you want to de-stress, or you can just do a turn to at least get a shot on the Z. Or there's
the turn would have bumped, but he would have set up for a good K turn on the following turn.
Yeah, he would have bumped, but then the Z would have moved, and then he would probably shoot at the Z, I guess.
No, his other ties have nice maneuvers. I really like fanning out at this point, because you just, when you K-turn towards the center, and the B-wing is slow and it's staying in the same position, and you're just outside and shooting at it.
Yeah,
I really like that.
True.
This also fits. It's incredible.
Yeah,
or it didn't.
No,
it didn't.
No,
it was close.
Now we should mention the fact that Rene, the guy on the right, is really good with rebel swarms. He plays bees so many games.
Yeah, he also has the really nice painted bees with the magnets and everything.
Oh, that's like the psychological edge he puts on his rebel swarm.
It's really
nice. Look at that. 3 natural dice. 3 natural hits.
Is that the top bandit or the bottom bandit? The top bandit.
Yeah, that's a really nice roll there by Rene.
Now the bee is just trying to clean up that tie.
Another
wow, 3. So many blanks.
And so many hits.
Vincent, the Imperial player, is starting to be a bit
demotivated.
Yeah, demotivated.
Yeah.
His dice rolls weren't the best at towards this part of the game.
Yeah, true. Did Rene just pull off 2 evades for 2 hits? I think so. Yeah.
He's still full on those headhunters though.
Yeah.
But if he takes down the B, then he has a good shot.
True.
Because ties and headhunters trade pretty well.
Yeah. True.
And you can swing it in your favor actually.
By keeping range, I think, to make use of your 3 or 4 agility dice.
And now you can see the fanning out of the ties.
Yeah.
And the B has nowhere to go.
Well, he can just do a K turn.
Well, he can, but he's not escaping those arcs.
No, of course, but at least he will shoot back at one of them. And he does. Yeah.
This game was very reminiscent of Wave 1 and 2.
It is, it's all
and
it's all those ships.
It's a part of the game that I missed a lot. Just having swarms and positioning them so you can get an optimal engagement. Yeah.
Well, this is due to the new meta. I mean, Soontir is viable with Autothruster. Turrets are not the best ship, which you always have to pick. Right now we see more swarms.
And let's see. Good shots, maybe?
Let's see, that's 1 hit. And
it's
a zillion dice. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, as you said before, like a TIE fighter versus a Z. If they get their distance, it's in favor of the TIE fighter.
Okay, so the B...
Another huge shot. 3 hits.
Well, the good turn was the preceding one. So the one where he just planted 2 hits on every TIE fighter.
Yeah.
Now Vincent does a thing with his cards where he takes the cards and discards them. It's pretty. It's very hard to follow which TIE fighter has what damage on it. but the ones which have dials are actually dead.
Yeah, true.
Plus another one.
I think this is the end of the game. Vincent gives up.
Yep.
And thank you for watching.